Lara Hopewell here with the Spear Realty Group, and I'm here with Austin Manno, who is with Main Street Home Loans. And we decided it's just a good time to have a quick chat about the housing market. There's been a lot of stuff in the media, and it's been kind of scary and making things look bleak. And while, yes, interest rates have risen, it's actually still a really good time to buy, right? And so we figure if we look back at the history, we've got some really good data that we can look at that can show us that it's still a great time to buy a house, right?
Yes, absolutely. And, we've been here before. I mean, this is the greatest part. We can use what history tells us to kind of lay out the rest of the land, so to speak. And actually, I'm going to share something real quick, which is a neat graphic, um, which shows you exactly the times when we've been in these inflationary times. And historically speaking, what happens here, all these gray areas, you'll see that's when we're in these inflation times. And you see the Fed reacts and they'll hike up rates, and then what happens is the market reacts, and then a recession happens. And then if you haven't already heard of it, of these times coming, you'll see here with each inflationary period here, you'll see the spikes coming up, and then followed by a deep drop right after. So economists are already talking about this, and Fannie and Freddie are speaking for Q3 next year already, and saying that potentially having a 4.5% by this time next year,
Mm.
um, which is crazy and great. We love to see hope on the horizon, which is awesome.
So for folks that have decided, okay, listen, I'm out of this market. I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and wait for a year, and then maybe I'm going to jump back in. What do we say to them about why buy now versus buying in a year?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you, Laura. So yeah, it's a mix of two things, kind of really, where I just talked about how interest rates are going to be falling down, hopefully, right? No one has a crystal ball, but that's going to bring out a lot of buyers, right? There's a lot for everyone's thinking it like, oh, I'll just wait till rates come down, and then how many people are thinking that? So what's going to happen there is you're going to see escalations, right, at that market that we were just in, where you're losing contingencies and you're having to pay that house that you want to buy right now, maybe $20,000, $30,000 more, especially around here. So if you look at the numbers, and I'm happy to sit down with anybody listening on this call and really go through them. But if you look at the numbers, and if you compare going into a sales price right now, where you're getting the home twenty to $30,000 lower, you can then refinance later on in a year where you've built out that equity throughout that year, and then get that lower payment. And actually, if you look at it in the next year standpoint, your mortgage will actually be lower than if you waited a year. So it's really interesting to see how your wealth in the home, you can build it now, and get it at a cheap price.
And honestly, that competition part is such a key part, because it was, it's really tough when all of a sudden you're bidding on a house and there are 5, 10 offers, and you're
Right.
trying to beat all of those people, and escalating, where right now that is not necessarily the case. And you can kind of take a deep breath and put in an offer that's a really good offer that also still protects you and includes all the good things that we like to, put in there to make it a safe purchase for you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't echo that enough to anybody that's listening. It's a great point.
So there are also options for purchasing right now for when you talk to your lender, like you. So there's options for making this purchase now that makes it more palatable. And then you can possibly do something in a year to make it even better, right?
Yeah, yeah. So there's a few really attractive options out there right now. ARM products are very attractive. You get in the lower rates, and then obviously the refinance comes before the rate adjusts. So 5 or 7 year ARMs are very attractive. There's even because we were just talking about how there's no real competition, there's a chance you can get seller credit. And what we can do with that is a buy down. So a 2-1 buy down, which your initial rate for the first year is 2% lower, and then after that year it's 1% lower, and then the third year it goes to the original rate. So it's stuff like that that you can combat with, where you really don't even feel the effects of the high rate, and then next year you're back at that very attractive low rate.
Which is great. That's a
Yeah.
fantastic option. And what about inventory? I mean, inventory
Yeah.
in the market, what's that going to be like?
Oh, I mean, you're seeing it. They say the statistics show that the next 5 years we're going to be in a low inventory. We still haven't even caught up from 2008, and I don't suspect it to get any better, but we'll know more later on. But right now, I mean, inventory is at an all-time low, and we're not going to catch up anytime quick.
So if we've perked up anybody who's listening to this and they're thinking like, maybe, okay, maybe I'll jump back in, what should they do?
Yeah, feel free to contact us. I mean, we can make more sense of things and talk things more in detail, but please reach out to us. We have loads of experience throughout our teams and just us personally, and we're happy to talk in more detail or fill any gaps where you're missing things throughout this. But yeah, feel free to contact me at 571-344-5023, or maybe we can throw our contact information on this. I'm not sure, but yeah, we are here for you guys, obviously, weekday and weekends.
That's true. You guys are 7 days a week, just like we are, which is
That's
great.
right.
Okay, awesome. Well, hopefully this has been really good information for folks. It's still a great time to buy. So, just make a call and we can help you guys figure it out.
Yes. Hope to hear from you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Austin.
you.